All right, so thank you for watching this video. This is the first, thank you to Megan for recording this. This is the first long form workout video we're gonna do here at Vitality, and this is really just to help the members see what the flow of a good lower body strengthening core routine will look like, and we'll go from there. So usually I start, you do a warm up first, so I just got off the treadmill. I was on there for 5 minutes, getting the blood out of my organs into my muscles. I usually get on one of the tables, one of the mat tables we have, to do a few different leg raise exercises, like straight leg raise I'm gonna start with. You're gonna dorsiflex your foot, quad is tight. So I'm gonna do one set about anywhere from 20 to 30 repetitions. This is such a great exercise because it's range of motion exercise, meaning it's doing two different things at the same time. It's strengthening my quad to support my knee. It's also stretching my hamstring at the top. All right, so I did about 20 reps. Now I'm gonna switch. Dorsiflex the right foot, quad tight, up and down. And just so you know, your repetitions, it doesn't have to be 20. It could be 25, it could be 30, it could be a little less. You definitely just wanna go until fatiguing for most of these exercises. Low back bridge. So arms at my sides, I'm gonna bridge my pelvis up. 5-second hold on this. Again, this one is about 5-second hold, anywhere from 20 to 30 reps. You're pushing your feet through the mat, raising up, contracting your glutes. That's your prime mover. Also working your low back and your thighs, quads and hamstrings. 5-second hold, touchdown, right back up. This is the most basic low back bridge. You would make it a lot harder. You could go with a one leg low back bridge. This would be either a 1-second count and you would alternate. You could take that up to 20. You could do one long repetition, like 30 seconds, just holding it up. Also, low back bridge on a ball is a popular one. That's gonna be a little harder than the basic. So you get your legs up on a physio ball and you're gonna bridge up high, 30-second hold on, or 5-second hold, 20 reps. There's a bunch of hip stretches that I like to do early in the lower body workout. Right over left, you're gonna hug this in. So this is a glute hip stretch. Again, the general rule of thumb for all of these stretch exercises is a 30-second hold. And this could be ball assisted. TheraBall comes in pretty handy when you're working out. You definitely want to have one. Roll it in. So you can see it's kind of like acting as a trainer, holding my leg up. And now I'm going to switch. So now I'm going to do, instead of the glute hip stretch, which we just did, we're going to roll this in, and it's called external hip rotation stretch. You can see I'm pulling my ankle in and pushing my knee out. See, I'm pulling it in, and instead of this one, which is here, I'm gonna do that. I'm also getting a stretch deep in the hip, but it's gonna be deeper because I'm externally rotating the hip. There's about 4 in a row I'll typically do with the TheraBall. I'm gonna flow right into inner thigh groin stretch, butterfly stretch, soles of the feet together, grabbing in and pushing out. This is a really good way to do this. You don't want to sit up and do the groin stretch because typically not a lot of people are going to have good posture doing that like this. Most people are going to round their back, and you're pretty much promoting faulty posture doing it this way. That's why definitely better to do it on your back, whether it's with a ball like I just showed or without the ball. Let's see. Another good one with the ball oblique twist. So I'm hugging the ball up into my hamstrings. Arms are out to the sides. I'm gonna go all the way to the right, all the way to the left. This ball's a little small. You could definitely go bigger. We have some bigger ones here. So this is good because again, there's two things going on. This is a range of motion exercise. Stretching the left side, stretching the right, but then I contract the right to pull the ball back. Stretching, and then I contract the left side. It's giving you that trunk rotation and working your obliques mainly. All right, I think that's about it with the ball. I'm gonna go into one of my personal favorites, the twisty pretzel stretch. Right leg flat, left leg across, left arm up and out. So this is gonna be a 30-second hold, and then I'm gonna switch to the other side. Right leg across. Sled pushing, sled pulling, incredibly popular today. I've done a video on the sled before. This sled on wheels is great because it's variable resistance. Like you can see neutral 1, 2, and 3. Level 1 is light resistance. Level 2 is medium, with level 3 being the most resistance. I usually will do a couple laps down and back pushing and then pulling as well. And there's 2 speeds. So you can see I'm gonna walk this down, taking big strides. I'm gonna walk it back. Now I'm gonna get up on the balls of my feet, which will definitely get the heart rate up and you really feel it in your quads. What's great about the sled is it's a range of motion exercise. So you're getting really deep range of motion. You feel it burning the quads. So you're getting blood into the joints and that's gonna promote healing. So I'm gonna pull now, a 1 lap down and back pulling. Slight bend your knees and you're just backpedaling basically. So backwards walking is really popular today because normally all day long we walk forward and we're propelling off our heel, bottom of the foot, using our hamstrings and glutes. So most human beings, we develop weak quads, weaker bad knees as we get older. So backwards walking is so popular because as you push off the ball of your foot, you're working your quads. So we're trying to counterbalance all of the forward walking that we're doing. I'm gonna flow right into a single leg quarter squat or single leg half squat. Again, these are great. You really need some type of bar, something like this to hold onto. So you can see on a step, this way my heel goes below the ground where my left foot is. I'm gonna do about 2 sets, 15 to 20 reps. So I'm dorsiflexing my right foot, my right quad is engaged, but this is what's doing the work right here. And again, every exercise we do here, everything is about posture corrective exercise. So form is the key. I'm a real stickler for form, whether you're taking my class or I'm working with you one-on-one here, or I'm just sitting here managing things, hanging out, and I see you doing the wrong thing, I'm gonna be correcting you. All right, so that's about 15 reps. Now I'm gonna switch. So I did kind of 2 heavy duty things, the sled and then the single leg quarter squats, half squats. So I'm gonna do more of a stretch exercise next. This is called the bouncing calf stretch. This is a good one. Most of us are just used to a static stretch, which is a 30-second hold. The bouncing calf stretch is great on the half round foam roll because you're bouncing in and out. Again, notice my posture alignment. So in and out for about 20 reps. All right, let's see. Now we're gonna go calf raise. All the way up, all the way down on this. But again, for me, not challenging enough, so definitely wanna gain muscle, maintain muscle mass. So we'll go over to the Smith machine, put some weight on here. I'll do about 1 or 2 sets on this. It's about 15 to 20 reps. So definitely much harder than just using my own body weight. Now, a thing to keep in mind, very important for your calves, you have to do standing calf raise and a seated calf raise. All right, so again, we're gonna use the half round foam roll. All right, so we just did standing calf raise, now we're gonna do seated. So the difference is, I'm gonna grab a 50-pound dumbbell. So when you do standing calf raise, you're working your gastrocnemius, which is the upper calf muscle up here. When you do a seated calf raise, you're working the lower portion of your calf, closer to the Achilles and your soleus muscle, to be specific. Heels are going below the half round foam roll. Foam roll is crucial so I get a full range of motion. If I'm doing this on the floor, it's not gonna be the same. That's why I use the step for the standing calf raise. So it's all about range of motion exercise, stretching and strengthening your joints through a full range of motion. So you'll see that on most of the exercises we do here. Kind of polar opposite to old school bodybuilding mentality, because what would people say back in the 70s, 80s, even into the 90s? They would say, oh, I'm going to the gym to lift. And you're like, going to lift? You would say, do you stretch? And a lot of people would say, no, I just lift. Or some people would say, yes, I stretch for 10 minutes at the end. That doesn't make any sense now, because, not in 2024, because what we know scientifically, if you're like in high school saying you could do 100 push-ups, they're not full push-ups. You're not working your mid-upper back. Or if you're not doing full pull-ups or a full calf raise, you're gonna lose range of motion as you age in your joints, and that's what manifests itself as joint pain. When you lose range of motion, and that's the first thing we lose in life is range of motion. Flexibility, same thing. Mobility, another term. So that's a great thing about, I'm gonna show you the, I'm not doing upper body today, but I just wanna show you the assisted pull-up machine. You know, a machine like this is really crucial because no matter who's working out here, whatever their fitness level is, I have them on here doing 160, right? 160 helping, by the way. So if I get on here to do a pull-up, this is super easy for me. So I'm coming all the way down, all the way up, all the way down, all the way up. Same thing if I was doing a dip. You see how deep I'm going? So it doesn't matter what my fitness level is, I'm able to do full ranges of motion. And that's how you prevent joint pain as you age. Now here's something super important. Most people work their calves, but they don't work their shins, the front of the calves. So I have a tibialis raise apparatus coming soon that we're gonna use. We put plates in, but for now we're all doing tibialis raises, or shin raises they're called. So you can see I'm leaning against the mirror, I'm coming up with the balls of my feet, pausing at the top. So I'm gonna go about 20 to 30 reps on this, working these muscles. Most people have knee pain because they don't work the shin muscles. You kind of want to leave no stone unturned when you're working out. So back extensions on here, this is huge. So this is called a 45-degree bench. We have two of these here. This kind, which I like to do the back extension, this is like a Mount Rushmore type exercise, back extensions. So what's great about it is it's not only strengthening, it's stretching. So like I said, full range of motion. I'm coming all the way down. You can see that I'm stretching in here, basically decompressing my spine. And then I'm gonna pause at the top, contracting my glutes, my low back muscles, and my hamstrings. All the way down, pausing at the top. Now I do a lot of these, so I'm gonna add a little weight. I'll grab so if I grab a 25-pound plate, keep it in tight against my chest, much harder, coming down, pausing at the top. It's almost too much weight for me, so I'll grab a 10. Pausing at the top, that's better. So again, 2 sets on this, I have most people do. And the repetitions, it's subjective. You could do 5 reps, 10 reps, 15, 20. I don't really care, and it doesn't matter. Mainly until you're burning, fatiguing in the muscle. You know, I change this up too. Sometimes I'll hold myself for 30 seconds just like this. Or next week when I do it, I may hold myself for 5 seconds. Come down, 5 seconds up like this. And then there's other days where I go faster, where I'm just going with slow form, like that. You want to keep challenging your body in different ways from week to week so your workouts don't get stagnant. That's why I was never good working out at home, just because for me there's not enough equipment. Like for instance, it starts with this. Like I don't think the human body could get a quality, well-rounded workout unless you have some type of 45-degree bench apparatus, or even there's something called a reverse hyper machine that Joe Rogan talks about a lot. A lot of times we're doing a mini circuit. We're never resting. It's perpetual motion. So you're never just standing around doing anything. For the whole hour you're here, or 45 minutes, or hour and a half, however long you want to be here for. So you lie forward, you grab the handles. So you want to get a full range of motion. Pausing at the top, that's a little light for me. So I'm gonna go down to there. And a lot of people ask, how do I know what weight I should use? Well, it's really easy. If you should be struggling to get 12 to 15 reps, then you know the weight is good for you. If you could blow past 15 reps and do 20, then you're thinking, all right, let me add another plate, or go up to the next size dumbbell. So again, that's about 10 to 15 reps. I'm really feeling it right now, so now it's time for a good stretch exercise, which will help my muscles recuperate and recover until I get the next strengthening set in. Dave, are you good? You need any help? Did you push the sled?
Not yet.
What are you doing, lower body or upper body? Oh, good. All right. All right, so I'm gonna do anterior thigh stretch, hip flexor stretch. Besides the hamstring machine, probably one of the most important stretches we could do. So I'm gonna lie back, foot up on here, bringing the foot back, and You're gonna get a big stretch all the way down there, arms up, all the way out. So this is gonna be a good 30-second hold. But besides the hip flexor stretch, I'm also getting a bilateral chest stretch, helping opening up my shoulders and my posture. So 30 seconds, now I'm gonna switch sides. Bring that all the way back. I feel that coming down there. And then again, arms up and out. That's called the T stretch. Not like this. People make that mistake. See how my arms? You don't want to do that. You want to open up the shoulders and counteract age-related posture decline that we tend to get as we age from all the sitting we do as humans and because of gravity. Now I'm going to switch back for my second set, but I already did the T stretch twice, so I'm going to go Y with the Y stretch. So see how my arms come all the way back? So now this is different. I'm definitely feeling this all under my arms, my pec major, pec minor, my lats. But again, a really good stretch down my hip flexors. And then the other side. You know, one of the things I like about this place is that, and the classes I teach them throughout the whole facility. And what's good is that we're not doing any dangerous exercises. What I mean by dangerous, meaning, I used to teach classes years ago in an aerobic room at New York Sports Club. And a lot of times, you know, whether you're doing total body conditioning, you don't have a lot of equipment at your disposal when you're in an aerobic room. So you have a little really thin mat, like a yoga mat. So you'll tell people to get on their knee and lean forward to stretch their hip flexors, which is the muscle I just stretched. But here's the problem. I'm stretching my hip flexor, but I'm also grinding my meniscus into my patella. So as we age, we're trying to preserve our meniscus so we don't need meniscus repair surgery or a knee replacement. So that's why I would never have people in here do that stretch when we have the benches or the tables at our disposal. So it's little things like that that make a big difference with the way you age and your activity level. How's it going?
Good. You?
Pretty winded, but I'm okay.
Now, see, this is what you
I'll see you. Thanks for coming.
Right?
Well, I think I'm not used to talking so much while I'm working out.
The full range of exercise for 45 minutes.
No, I work out for an hour and a half. What are you talking about?
Steve's cameraman for a second. Come on over here, please.
Good idea.
You probably notice there's no gym rats in here. We're all a little older, and that usually means we come with our ailments. But that's fine. This machine is intimidating, because at most gyms, you'd feel the need to do as much as you can. I've got a bum shoulder from years ago, but I still want to do this machine. So, but it's no big deal if I'm on the weakest or the second weakest setting, because I'm still going to go to workout. And that's because you pretty much guided me that way, right?
Definitely.
Yeah, so do the workout, don't hurt yourself. That's my caveat.
Yeah, it's really work out smarter, not harder, you know, because we're trying to preserve cartilage and everything like that. You know, beginners, people that aren't good at squats, like if I see that they can't get down like about that low, that would be a good squat. Knees are gonna go a little past the toes. I like to bring my arms out in front because that counterbalances me. If they can't do with good form, then I have them go on a bench. So basically they'll do a sit to stand squat, you could call this. And it's easier because the bench is catching you. You could call it a bench squat. This is arguably the most important exercise for middle-aged adults and older because they say it's the most important balance exercise. You would think a balance exercise is like standing on one leg, but it's really not. It's a squat because nothing's gonna give you more strength in your thighs and your glutes than doing squats, and that's what's gonna prevent you from falling as you age, having the strength in your thighs. When elderly people fall and break a hip, it's not because they have osteoporosis, it's because they fell. So if you don't have the strength and flexibility, you're gonna fall, you're more likely to fall. All right, so now, the squats I did, I'm gonna make those a little harder. If somebody's really good at the bench squats, I'm gonna do a set of, I have a couple different things here. This is a little lower than the bench, so it's gonna be a little harder. So obviously the deeper you go on the squat, the better. Like for years, I battled sciatic pain for like 10 years in my mid to late 30s because I have a defect in my spine, so I'm more susceptible to back pain. That's how I got into the chiropractic and personal training field and opening a gym. So, man, I was one of those people who was thinking, oh, you really don't want to squat, You don't want to get your knees past your toes. It's not good for your knees. It's nonsense. I started following knees over toes guy and you know, heard him on Joe Rogan. And now I'm doing deep squats all the way to the floor, and I don't sniff knee pain, I don't have back pain, sciatic pain. The last 2 years, I'm 47 now, is the least amount of back pain I've had in my life, and knees. So now, this is even further down. This was actually, this was a toy for my kids. It's a timeout chair, so I kind of took it over here. So I have my mother's 77. I have her doing squats now on this, really low to the ground. And you could see, what I have people do, it's like a core exercise. I'm gonna lean forward, clinch my core tight, come all the way down, like that. That's obviously much harder for people than that, but pretty much everyone that I've had doing the lower squats, myself included, people's hips and knees seem to be improving, and backs. All right, so I just got this, I love it, the slant board. So again, I like to try to do squats all the way to the floor now, which has been a huge help for me, and I feel much stronger, even more muscle mass in my thighs. But once you get to there, it's hard because your heels start to come up and you start to feel tightness in your Achilles. That's where the slant board comes in. So now I'm gonna do some squats on here. So it's definitely allowing me to get further down. I'm not feeling that tightness in my Achilles tendons. 5, I'm gonna go to 10. 6, 7, but I clinch my core. I almost like I'm gonna take a punch on the way down because I wanna protect my lumbar spine and all my nerves at the bottom, because when you're in a squatting position, you're compromised. Your low back, your discs, it's all compromised. So if you don't have intrinsic core muscle tightness, that's where you throw your back out. A lot of people bend over to pick something up and they get up and they're like, oh, I threw my back out. It's because you don't have the intrinsic core muscles and you're not gripping your core tight on the way down. If you see, I put these photos up over here. This is the slant board. Just so members could see, if they're not working with me or taking one of my classes, they could see what it looks like. How she's all the way, I mean, that's as deep a squat as you're gonna get, basically. And then this right here, this is called the mobility box. I just got this, so I'm gonna do a set on this. These are called split squats. It's almost like a lunge position. You're gonna put one foot, now on the pictures you'll notice their back heel comes off, and you could approach this from either direction, whichever direction you're more comfortable with. I started doing these like 6 weeks ago. It's pretty new on the market, especially this mobility box through ATG. So you're coming all the way forward until hamstring covers the calf. I'm getting a huge stretch in my left knee, and then back, 2, and you could see my right foot, my heel is coming off, 3. I'm still pretty tight with this. I'm definitely not, I mean, I'm getting better, 4. So when I come forward, it's big left knee stretch. You really feel that in the front of your right thigh and underneath the left glute. So really what it's doing is it's unlocking my hips. Unlocking my hips. And like I said, you unlock your joints, you get back that range of motion you lost growing up. That's how you get rid of joint pain. You know, it's not a steroid shot. So many people still rely on steroid shots. They're like, I got an injection. I'm like, well, are you doing physical therapy? And they say, no. Are you working out? No. It's like, what are you doing? A steroid shot's not gonna magically, I mean, it could dull the pain, make the pain go away, but it's not gonna change your structure. It's not gonna change your posture alignment. That's only gonna happen in the gym with the proper exercise. So this is, I feel way more comfortable on the other side for whatever reason. I don't know how I look, if I look different doing it this way, but 5. I'll tell you, when I first did these, I didn't even know my knee could go in that direction. 6, like that much of a stretch in there. I actually thought my knees were gonna bother me after first doing them, but they've been great, again, because I'm gaining back range of motion that I lost. So you're gonna do about 2 sets on that, back and forth. Now, before I go to the second set, I'm gonna jump on this and do a hanging knee raise. I really like this one because it's kind of like a reverse, it's like a reverse sit-up. So you're gonna keep your low back pinned into the mat. So I could do squats on this, or a barbell on my back, I'm not a huge fan though. I don't know, I feel a little, I'm trying to fight off elderly type posture, so I'm not a big fan of the barbell on my back. I'd like to get a safety bar. But I'll tell you though, if you're doing, I'm gonna do one more set of these. If you're doing slant board squats coming all the way to the ground, this is to hold that position, this is as hard, if not harder, than if I do a squat with this. Like there's not a lot of weight on here, but if I put this on my upper back and squat down and don't come down that low, this is putting more of an axial load on my spine. It's pushing my head forward. Good work. You're out of here? Oh, thank you. Would you like to show the camera how you run the sled? No, I'm just kidding. You're good. Next time. Listen, Dave's, he's proof of the pudding right here. I mean, we started working together, what, like a year and a half ago? 2 years ago?
Maybe longer.
And you could hardly, as tight as a board, could hardly roll around on a table, right? Now you're doing, his wife has thanked me for working with him. We'll say that, right? Doing better, doing better.
I've played golf in 5 years and I'm gonna try again.
Nice. And most of all, less pain, a lot less pain, right? All right, cool, good to see you. So I'm gonna jump on here and do side crunches. This is our other 45-degree bench. There's the other one over there, but I prefer to do the side crunch on this one. Coming down a little bit below, and then up, pausing in each direction. I don't like keeping it's actually harder to keep your arms like that, but I feel like it pushes your head forward. So I prefer to be in a posture correct position with my arms crossed to my chest. So about anywhere from 15 to 20 reps, you're gonna do 2 sets in a row. So left, right. You could do something in between. If you need a little bit of a break, that's about 15. Now I'm gonna switch. I like to get my left foot first. I like to get my hip in between the 2 pads because I feel like it wedges me in. 2 sets, 15 to 20 reps. In the beginning, which you always wanna do early in the workout, I even do the sled push, sled pull, even when I'm doing upper body. It's so important. This is a self-propelled treadmill, meaning it's curved, so it has no motor. This is the resistance crank. So right now it's at 0. If you put the crank all the way up, now it's at level 10, resistance 10. I can't walk normal. That's when it becomes a sled, like a stationary sled. So now I'm at level 7, which is 7 or 8 is good. So I'm leaning in, taking these big strides. So you could see the range of motion I'm gaining in my hips. Can't put a price tag on that. So that's the sled push. You could even try to get up on the balls of your feet to go faster. I really like this because it's a backwards treadmill. So you grab the handrails and you can see my body is slightly this way, and the shorter, you can make this go fast. The shorter, faster steps backwards you take, and I put a clock with a second hand right there, so I'll tell members to watch the clock and do 2 minutes or 1 minute, so you don't have to turn around and look at the screen. So you do 1 to 2 minutes on here, and you're definitely feeling it. Big time in the quads. Again, you get blood into the joint. That's how you heal the joint and promote healing. Another good one that I haven't done, like some type of cobra stretch, which I'll do on here. So cobra stretch, this would be a modified cobra stretch. We're just up on your forearms. You could see I'm trying to pull myself forward, and this is to help reshape the curve that we lose in our lumbar spine from aging and all the sitting we're doing. This would be a full cobra. I had some wrist surgeries, so I don't like to push up this way. I don't like it on the wrists, but these mat tables I love because it has a nice hard edge here. So I have people slide up to the edge here. It's almost like grabbing a handle. And you're gonna inhale on the way up. Exhale at the top and relax. And you're gonna go down, you're gonna inhale on the way up. Blow it out and hold. So that's a big stretch, my lower abdomen below the belly button. So again, you're gonna do about 10 reps. Focus on trying to relax your glutes. It's not gonna feel comfortable back here. It's definitely gonna feel you're gonna feel some compression back there. Pausing at the top. All right, so that's about 10 reps. That's a full cobra. Now, Thankfully, everybody's favorite machine, the hamstring machine, is open. So I'm gonna grab my towel and jump on that. What's great about this machine is hamstrings, back of the thigh, all here, probably the hardest muscle to stretch in the body. You wanna be really careful with, you don't wanna bend forward to your toes, rounding your back like that if you don't have a strong core, because you really could slip a disc, throw your back out on you. And you don't want it, same thing here. You want to avoid that because that's promoting elderly type posture. So why would you get in that position if we're trying to get our bodies out of that position? So you could use a stretch strap like we have a couple here where you lay on your back and pull that up. But especially people with tight hamstrings, that becomes hard because you're pulling that and it could be tough on your wrists, your elbows, or your shoulders, especially if you're dealing with a wrist, elbow, or shoulder issue. So this machine, you put your foot in. So this is the no cheat bar. So you put your foot on there, pull the handle, you pull the brake up. If you go to raise your leg, it comes up really easily. And now we'll see where I'm at. So now I really feel that all in here. My knee is locked. So I'm at 74 degrees, which for me is huge. Like years ago, I would be like 45, 50, 55. I lost about 20 pounds a couple years ago, and I think combination of that and just exercising more, especially since opening this place, my flexibility is up much higher. And there's no low back pain, hip pain. So it's just, like I said, proof is in the pudding. And the fact that I squat to the floor now has just opened my hips up. So I could stretch up for me, 75 is a coup, basically, getting up that high, since I was perpetually tight growing up in the hamstrings. 30-second hold on each side. Before I put the exercise slide photos up on the TV over there, like if you get a shot of the TV, you could see that's red and white captions, which is upper body, core, and stretch slides, which I run Tuesdays, Thursdays, Saturdays, and then Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, I run the lower body, core, and stretch slides, which is blue and yellow captions. So that's how you're gonna know it's all upper body stuff. So each slide is about 15 seconds long. So anyway, before I put the slides up there, I had these books made. Like Chris over here I get really happy when I see a member grabbing the book and bringing it to the table because, she's using the book as a reference. It's just a photo book.
I forget sometimes some of the things
Yeah,
you tell me.
you forget.
I'm like, how did you do that?
So this is good. So it's like twisty pretzel stretch. You see the view from this side to that side. So this is the lower body table book. So everything I would show people on the table, lower body and core, is here. So this is cat camel exercise, sideline quad stretch. I'll give you the book back here.
Thanks.
Obviously you could do 3 or 5 minutes on the stair stepper, but I love side step ups. Side step ups are a great exercise for your lower body, but if you're going up and down on a step, it's kind of like boring and it's not that hard. So if you do it on here, and these are really deep steps, the true Palisades. So right here, you just want to be sideways though. So right now I'm on level 3. Level 4 is about as fast as I'm going to go. So I'm pretty good at this. So I'm going to do about 20 reps, 8, 9, 10, again, facing sideways, 11. I have my hand on the handle, which I can go up or down with the level here. I got the emergency stop there. So I'm getting to about 15 to 20 reps, then I'm going to make a U-turn, and now I'm going to go this way. 2, 3, 4, 5. I think I'd even go level 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's all about keeping knee over hip. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. I could see in the mirror. 19, 20. Now I'm going back this way. Second set. So I'll have people do 2 or 3 sets in a row. Anywhere from about 15 to 20 reps. And if it's a little too fast, I just lowered it to level 4. And then right at this left thumb here is the stop button, so it's easy. You just hit the stop button. It's gonna stop, turn around, coming down. Okay. There's more I could do, but we'll probably wrap it up about there. All right, so I'm gonna do more of these. It's a good video. I'll come out with an upper body one and maybe even like a core video. But thank you for watching.